hear it first. And so your financial breakthrough or breakdown can almost be guaranteed. Write that down. Your financial breakthrough or breakdown can almost be guaranteed. Now, you say, Doc, what do you mean by that? What I mean is, I'm going to give you some powerful principles. And if I don't know what you're going to do with them, if you implement them and practice them, then your financial breakthrough literally is guaranteed. However, if instead of implementing them, you ignore them, then your financial breakdown can almost be guaranteed. And again, the reason I say almost is because God's a merciful God, and sometimes He steps in and delivers us, and even in spite of our ignorance, are not applying and so forth. So, again, your financial breakthrough or breakdown can almost be guaranteed. In the chat, let me know how many of you this appeals to you. You definitely are interested in finding out what we got to say here. And so in the chat, give me a number one if you're ready, because I'm ready if you're ready. All righty, here we go. So again, this is Secret Simple Steps to Time and Financial Freedom. It will be my 21-day financial breakthrough challenge. Again, guaranteed breakthrough when you implement, but guaranteed breakdown when you ignore these principles. So again, they call me Dr. Stan Harris. They call me AKA Dr. Breakthrough. I always give a disclaimer. I can't provide a breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. However, when people follow the breakthrough prescription, God Almighty provides the breakthrough they desire and deserve. And if you or anybody you know wants to have a financial breakthrough, or if they're broken down and they want to know why they stayed broken down financially and how they can get through this, then you definitely, my friend, want to let them know about this information. See, here's what you have to understand. Be in the know so you can financially grow, or be out of the know and your finances will go. Oh, let me say that again. Be in the know so your finances will grow. Be out of the know and your finances will go. See, get this. Any financial principle that you do not know, those that know them are usually using them against you. Let me say it again. Any financial principle that you do not know, those that know them are using them against you. And so, my friend, we want to level the playing field. And again, if you want somebody to take advantage of you, that's your business, but at least do it intelligently, know what's going on. Because when you don't understand, again, these financial principles, and I hate to say this, but banks are the worst. I mean, they don't want you. As a matter of fact, I think it was what was his name? Rich Dad Poor Dad guy, Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah. Matter of fact, we got to co-author as we're part of a book project together, one of those anthologies, but many years ago. But anyway, but Robert Kiyosaki said something very powerful. He said this. He said, when it comes to financial literacy, he said it's an unwritten law not to teach people about finances. Almost, he said, like back in the slavery days, where it was against the law to teach slaves how to read and write. And by the way, why was that so? And I keep forgetting I'm supposed to have these blue blockers on when I'm on this computer, but I gotta stop saying I'm not forgetting. I always remember to put these on when I'm on the computer. All right. So he said this. He said, just like in slavery days, it was against the law to teach slaves how to read and write. Why? You know, it's like Frederick Douglass. He was so bright, and the master's wife was teaching him how to read, and the master came home one day early and called him and said, "Wait a minute, stop! You can't teach that slave boy how to read." And she said, "But he seems so bright, and I just wanted." And he's like, "No," he said, "if you teach a slave how to read, they will be unfit from being a slave." Because in other words, they'll be able to read and they'll be able to recognize they don't have to be a slave, and they'll never be satisfied with being a slave. And so the only way we can keep them down is to keep them ignorant. So they actually made it a law. Now, the danger is, I say to some people, it's not a law anymore, and some of y'all still not reading. I mean, anyway, so here's the deal, my friend. So Robert Kiyosaki said the same way they did that in slavery days, they're doing that today as far as teaching people financial literacy, because they want people to be financially enslaved. And so, my friend, but I want you to get a financial breakthrough. I want you to be free. And so, my friend, we got to diffuse this self-sabotaging mindset and also the false teaching about money. You know, Jeremiah 7:8 says, "You trust in lying words which cannot profit." And so, my friend, it's like a car. If a car, it has like in the olden days they would have what's it called, a governor, and that governor means, let's say the car could go 150 miles per hour, or a truck say could go 100 miles an hour, but the guy that owns the trucks, so his truck drivers won't go too fast. He put a governor on it so it can only go up to like say 75, right? And so no matter how hard you push on that gas pedal, it's not going any further than 75. Why? Because the governor, and my friend, and you and I we have these subconscious governors in our mind when it comes to finances. And the more I study, the more I find out some of these as well, my friend. And they got to be dismantled. They got to be done away with. And that's why Romans 12:2, I love where he says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. See, our minds, why would our minds have to be renewed unless they're constantly being dirtied, my friend? And so I believe we need financial transformation. As a matter of fact, my friend, we have a deep-seated unworthy feeling, my friend, that keeps us from advancing and breaking through financially. See, the word deserve, once I understood this gave me one big breakthrough. But the church, I came to Christ at 15 and started really, applying myself. And but they kind of made me think that the more poor you were, the closer you could be to God. It was like the more money you had, the more you could fall in temptation. And yes, there is temptation with having money, just like there's temptation with being broke. Come on, somebody. I mean, it's the same grace that you need being broke and poor is the same you need with riches, right? But I found out I've been broke and I've been rich. And being rich is a whole lot better than being broke, my friend. Now, I've never been poor. See, poor is a state of mind. Broke is a temporary inconvenience. And by the way, every millionaire, they said, is broke 2.5 times on their way to being a millionaire. Now, why is that? Because they take great risk. See, risk is the ledge. It gives winners the edge, but sometimes the risk doesn't come out right. So you want to learn how to take a calculated risk. So anyway, going back to this. So again, there's people that they'll make a lot of money and it's gone. And by the way, here's part of the reason, because the governor, you have this inside self-rooted, deep-seated, unworthy feeling. Well, in the Greek, the word deserve comes from two words, de, which means from, and then serve, service, from service. So the word deserve in the Danish means from service. So whenever I provide service, I now deserve to get paid. Now watch this. When I start understanding that I deserve, and I have this feeling that I deserve to get paid, I start becoming a money magnet and money starts coming to me. When I don't feel like I deserve, come on, somebody, now I start repelling money. And for most of my life, I was repelling my money. But listen, now, no, my friend, we don't want repelling that. We want to receive all the blessings that God has for us. If you're with me, say yes, yes, or yes in the chat, okay? So God, by the way, here's one of the things I had to understand and constantly remind myself, and that is God and God alone is my source. Everything else, I said everything else, is at best a replaceable resource. Let me let that soak in. God and God alone is the source. Everything else at best is a replaceable resource. And sometimes he allows that replaceable resource to be removed. So we hit rock bottom. So we realize he's the rock at the bottom that we can now build a firm foundation and grow properly. And again, my friend, it's just like in the challenge that we're doing now, 9K to 90K or more in 90 days or less. My motto is 9K to 90K or more in 90 days or less by any means with integrity, dignity, and service to humanity. Ooh, did you get that? 9K to 90K or more in 90 days or less by any means with integrity, dignity, and service to humanity. So listen, my friend. So again, we gotta learn again to stop being opposed to learning principles that could explode our income. So there's some people, as soon as they saw the title, they're like, you're gonna be talking about money. I'm so glad you showed up, my friend, because you don't have that. And so here we go. So I have, like, for instance, There's money songs I listen to, my friend, and I'm a magnet to money, and but my favorite of favorites is "Money Keeps Coming to Me." Man, oh man, oh man. But anyway, and I make declarations as well, my friend. So here we go. Point number one. I've got 21 main points. We'll see. That was all the introduction. Okay. So we'll see how many we can get through today. Number one, your financial breakthrough or breakdown can almost be guaranteed if you don't understand if your money grows before you do, it will eventually shrink back down to where you are, if not further. Ooh, let me say it again. So principle number one, again, your financial breakthrough is guaranteed or your financial breakdown is guaranteed. Breakthrough guaranteed if you implement it. Breakdown guaranteed if you ignore. Stay down if you ignore, right? But if you implement is different. So again, when you understand that if your money grows before you do, unfortunately, it will have to shrink back down to where you are, if not further. That's why people can win the lottery, win millions and millions of dollars. And a few years later, not just are they broke, but some of them are even homeless. See, my friend, again, you got to understand this principle. That's why personal growth is so important. That's why, my friend, when we talk here, when we talk about, like, for instance, understanding that you have to grow as a person, my friend, because the person you are now maybe can only handle so much money. That's why the scripture says, feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee, or lest I be poor and curse and take the name of my God in vain. So give me what I can handle is what he's saying. So the key though is if you want more, you got to learn to be more so you can handle more. So you got to understand, my friend, again, your financial breakthrough or breakdown is guaranteed. It's guaranteed if you implement, and it's guaranteed the breakdown if you ignore. So you got to understand, if your money grows before you do, it will eventually shrink back down to where you are. That's why Jim Rohn, I used to love traveling and speaking with him, and bless his soul, he's in heaven now. But he used to always say, a formal education will help you make a living, Maria Powers. God bless you. Good to see you. But he said, but self-education and personal development, LaCoya, can help you make a fortune. And Dr. Breakthrough would always say, why not make a fortune so you could be blessed, Stuart Brown, so you could also be a blessing to others. Is this gelling with you, May? Are you grabbing this? Is this speaking to your heart? So again, my friend, this is powerful. It was Benjamin Franklin that said it best. He said, if you empty your wallet into your mind, he said, May, your mind will then fill your wallet. Did you get that, Sherry? He said again, empty your wallet into your mind, and your mind will fill your wallet. So again, my friend, the power of this. Alan Greenspan, and I think it was even Warren Buffett, they both said during these hard economic times, and people said to them, Gladys, they asked, they said, what would you advise us to invest in? And they said, simple. The best investment is to invest in yourself, to invest in your personal growth, to invest in your mind. Why? Again, because if your money grows before you do, it'll have to shrink back down to where you are. In some cases, shrink down even further. And you don't want that, my friend. So you got to be prepared. You got to be growing, my friend, so you can handle and take care of it. Because it's not always the making of money. My problem has often been the managing of money. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? I mean, making the money is one thing, but managing the money, because what happens is if you don't have that right mindset, the more money you make, then the more money you'll start to spend. And the more you start raising your what you're putting out, my friend. And somebody said this is good. Somebody write this in the chat if you don't mind. When your outgo is more than your income, that's your downfall. Ooh, did you get that, Ron? When your outgo is more than your income, that's your downfall. So you see, my friend, this is powerful. And again, you got to understand this. So Stephanie, I know you're getting this, but Les Brown said something powerful. He said, information costs, but it pays for itself 10 times over. See, people willing to invest in themselves, people willing to pay to take the right to take the course, to get the book, to pay. Even you here this morning, you're paying of your time, investing your time. But again, you got to learn to do that because again, information costs. Les Brown said, but it pays for itself 10 times over. And Dr. Breakthrough says, John, you'll like this one. What you put in your head that affects your heart determines what comes to your hand. And if you want more coming to your hand, matter of fact, let me ask you real quick in the chat. Let me know how many you want more coming to your hand. Put a number 2 in the chat. Put a number 2 in the chat if you want more coming to your hand. Okay, come on. There you go. That's right. That's right. There you go. Come on, iPhone user. You with me now? Hey, Luther, are you with me? Again, if what you put in your head affects your heart determines what comes to your hand. Now, here it is. If you want more coming to your hand, you got to put more in your head that affects your heart. Come on, that's good. See, Dr. Breakthrough, here's another thing that I say. Information that doesn't create a change in your heart, movement in your feet, and money in your pocket is wasted information. See, it's not just about information. It's a certain empowering information. See, information that doesn't create a change in your heart, movement in your feet, or money in your pocket is wasted, or what I call misinformation. So understand this, and this is a writer downer. Your $1,000,000 or $1 billion idea will start to manifest after you break through the minimum wage mindset and work ethic. Oh, come on, somebody. Wow, wow, wow. Did you get that? I said your $1,000,000 or $1 billion ideal will start to manifest after you break through the minimum wage mindset and work ethic. Come on now. See, I'm telling you, my friend, it's amazing. People don't understand this. You see, mindset determines skill set, and skill set dictates your paycheck. Oh, come on now. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? How is this landing? How is this, Frank? Is it speaking to you? Are you with me? I'm sure you are. So again, Jojo and Brenda, let me say it again. Mindset determines skill set. See, my wife does Forex trading, and in the beginning, she was having a super rough time. And I said, baby, it's not your skill set, it's more your mindset. I said, because if you get the proper breakthrough mindset, see, again, and I taught her this and I had her memorize this. And again, mindset will determine, it will help or hinder your skill set. So mindset determines skill set, and skill set dictates paycheck. All right. So, Alan, you get that? All righty. So I want you out loud, speak out loud for the next 21 days. I want you to write this down. I want you to speak this out loud. I mean, I've been doing this, my friend, and I'm telling you, it's amazing what it's done for my life. And I know it will do much for you. So if you're ready to write this down, give me number 3 in the chat. Are you ready? Are you ready, David? Stephanie, I'm sure. Here we go. So need you to write this down. Now, if you're driving, don't write it down. This is going to be recorded and get the recording and play it back. All right, here we go. So money flows freely and frequently. I just like to sound it out already. All right. So come on, write this down. I say this every day. Okay, it's a little bit long, but that's the first part. Okay. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate that. Here you go. Money, Gladys, flows freely and frequently from expected and unexpected sources. You like that? I'm halfway done. So come on, get that down. Money flows freely and frequently from expected and unexpected sources in exchange for the value that I consistently bring to the marketplace. Come on, somebody. Are you getting this? I said money flows freely, LaKoya, and frequently. You can even put into me. So money flows freely and frequently to me from expected and unexpected sources in exchange for the value that I consistently bring to the marketplace, Stuart. You see, my friend, when you are bringing value to the marketplace, one of my main mentors, Bill Bailey, taught me this. I said, Mr. Bailey, when I first heard about him and found out he had a company grossing $64 million a month back in the 70s, no email, no fax machine. And I mean, it was amazing. And so I bought all the training courses he had and his book, everything, right? And so we were somewhere together, and I said, Mr. Bailey, what in the world did you do to create a $64 million a month? I know that wasn't your personal, that was your income, that's the income for your company, but still, back in the 70s, no email, no fax machine. No, and he said, young Dr. Breakthrough, and of course I was a lot younger than he is. He said, you're asking me the wrong question. So instead of allowing my ego to block my blessings, I humbled myself and I said, okay, well, what's the right question I should have asked you? You like that, Ron? Come on, somebody. I said, Mr. Bailey, I said again, what did you do? Kev, Will, imagine this. You ask your mentor, what did you do to create a $64 million a month? And he said to me, well, you're asking the wrong question. So again, so many times people get offended at that. People get, who's he think he is? Or whatever. Look, you better get over yourself. You need the breakthrough, not them. So come on, somebody. So Stuart, so instead of me getting offended and getting upset, what I said was, okay, what's the question I should have asked you? And then the breakthrough came when he gave me the answer. He said, you should have asked me, how many people's lives did I add value to that resulted in $64 million a month? He said, you see, Dr. Breakthrough, if you bring value consistently to the marketplace, you can't help but receive value back from the marketplace. And the more value you give, the more value you'll receive. Oh, come on now. I said, I got to up my value giving. Come on, somebody. So anybody that knows me, you know, I'm constantly and consistently giving value everywhere I go, as often as I can, as many ways as I can. Why? Because one of my mentors taught me that. He said, Dr. Breakthrough, you should have asked me how many people's lives I added value to that resulted in $64 million a month. Because you see, if you bring value to the marketplace, you can't help but bring value, get and receive value from the marketplace. And the more value you bring, then the more value you receive. And by the way, that's why, again, I want you for the next 21 days to say this. Money flows freely and frequently to me from expected and unexpected sources in exchange for the value that I consistently bring to the marketplace. Did you get that down? I mean, that right there is going to be a breakthrough for somebody, my friend, if you understand that. So again, money flows freely and frequently to me from expected and unexpected sources in exchange for the value that I consistently bring to the marketplace. See, struggling poor people work hard, while successful rich people work harder at working smarter. Again, they're coming up with more ingenious ways to bring value to the marketplace. So again, struggling people, they work hard, but struggling poor people, I should say, work hard, while successful and rich people work harder at working smarter. That's why I keep trying to teach you the principle of WPHH. Now, if you haven't gotten that, you write that down. WPHH, I'm going to tell you what that stands for. WPHH is what I do every single day. WPHH is what you have to learn to do. Because again, instead of being a struggling poor person that just works hard, you got to learn to be a successful or a rich type person that works harder at working smarter. And the formula, WPHH, wake up, pray, hustle honestly. I said WPHH, wake up, pray, hustle honestly. See, there is such a thing as a dignified hustle. See, all hustling is not bad. See, but you got to learn. The scripture says, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. And listen, if you've ever heard me speak or been listen, you know I give it everything I have, my friend. And everything I do, I give it everything I have. Why? It's a principle, my friend. And so I gotta go to number two, though. Gotta at least give you two, okay? So again, did you get the first principle? If your money grows before you do, it'll shrink back down to where you are, and in some cases, even further down. Again, so your financial breakthrough or breakdown is guaranteed. It's the breakthrough guaranteed if you implement the principles. The breakdown guaranteed if you ignore the principle. Number two, when you implement or adopt the breakthroughpreneur mindset, your financial breakthrough or breakdown is almost guaranteed when you implement, number two, or adopt the breakthroughpreneur mindset. When you implement or adopt the breakthroughpreneur mindset. You say, well, Doc, what in the world is a breakthroughpreneur mindset? Some of you don't know it, you already have it. But write this thought down. Every successful entrepreneur has a breakthroughpreneur mindset. They just never heard the term. Every unsuccessful entrepreneur is unsuccessful because they never developed the breakthroughpreneur mindset. You say, what in the world is a breakthroughpreneur mindset? Well, I'll tell you here in a minute, but let me just give you this. Without a breakthrough mindset, nothing in heaven or earth can help you. With a breakthroughpreneur mindset, nothing on earth can stop you. Wow. Man, oh man, oh man. I said, without a breakthroughpreneur mindset, without a breakthroughpreneur mindset, nothing in heaven or earth can help you. With a breakthroughpreneur mindset, nothing on earth can stop you. See, a breakthroughpreneur is one who's so focused on providing a valuable product, service, or system to people with profit that they are committed, not trying, they're committed to breaking through any barrier, inside or outside barrier, that would try to hinder the process. That's pretty long, but you got to understand that. And again, I got a whole training on that, but we're just throwing it out real quick right now. So the breakthroughpreneur mindset is someone who's so focus, Focus, firmly on course until successful, not firmly on course until stressful. A lot of folks I said, we're going to do 9K to 90K, and some people are excited. They done died, and they ain't even thinking about it now. Not me, bro. I'll be here to the end and beyond. Come on, somebody. Watch this now. Watch this. Again, focused, not firmly on course until stressful. Because whenever you make up your mind to do something, I keep telling y'all this, whenever you have intention, there's always going to be disruption. There's always going to be battles. There's always going to be roadblocks. There's always going to be a test to see if you're really serious or not. And guess what, my friend? And most people think, well, that's God blocking me. Most people think, well, it's just too hard. Well, life's against me. No, life, God, whatever, is testing you, friend. It's testing you. Do you really want it? David, do you really want to beat the bully Goliath? Okay, well, guess what? Your brothers you thought was going to encourage you, they're going to criticize you. They're going to, see, oh, look at this. I'm getting way off track, but this is a good track to get off of. See, small folk hate. Small folk hate. Average folk speculate. Well, I wonder why. But the great, we always celebrate. Ooh, come on, somebody. I said small folk hate. You got haters, 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 having animosity toward everyone reaching success. See, haters hate on you because guess what? You're doing what they know they should be doing, but they're afraid to step out, or they tried it. See, they weren't committed like you. They tried and they got busted down and they now throwing the towel. No. Whenever you have intention, there's going to be disruption. Whenever you set out to have a breakthrough, you first going to have a breakdown. But listen, my friend, I'm telling you, you got to persevere. So again, the breakthroughpreneur mindset is one so focused, get this now, on providing a valuable product, service, or system. By the way, do you have a valuable product, service, or system? Yes, or yes. Okay. All right, good. So then you got to make sure that you're focused. Focus, Focus. Focus, firmly on course until successful. Here's another one, acronym for focus. Ready? Fixated on creating ultimate success. And so you have to define what success means to you, but fixated on creating ultimate success. Well, for the next 90 days, my ultimate success is an extra 9K, no, in my case, extra 90K or more in 90 days or less by any means, with integrity, with dignity, and by adding value to humanity. Are you with me? So Benjamin Disraeli said, nothing can resist a human will, which will stake even its existence on the extent of its purpose. Man, you just got to learn. See, a breakthroughpreneur, we just keep on keeping on, my friend. So again, a breakthroughpreneur is one who's so focused on providing a what? Valuable product, service, or system to people for profit with pleasure, that they're committed. They're not trying. See, try is to die. Try is to lie. Try is to give your mind an excuse. Well, I tried it. It worked for me. No. When you're committed, right? Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. The Pope's a Catholic. I'm going to do this. Hey, come on, somebody. So again, breakthroughpreneur. A breakthroughpreneur. One who's so focused on providing a valuable product, service, or system to people for profit with pleasure, that they're committed to breaking through any barrier that would try to hinder the process, any barrier, outward barrier or inward barrier. You know, that self-doubt, the whole doubt. By the way, unsuccessful people, they doubt their beliefs and then they believe their doubts. Successful people, we learn to doubt our doubts and believe our beliefs. Ooh, that's good right there. All right, my friend. So again, it ought to be a shame to teach this powerful concept and stuff for free. But I understand the concept, my friend. When I bring value to the marketplace, I can't help but receive value from the marketplace. Because remember, every day, what do I say? Money flows freely and frequently from expected and unexpected sources to me, because I consistently, in exchange for the value that I consistently bring to the marketplace. And then number two, because I've implemented, I've and adopted a breakthroughpreneur mindset. Again, one who's so focused on providing a valuable product, service, or system to people for profit with pleasure, that we're committed to breaking through any barrier, outward barrier, inner barrier. The old African proverb said it best, Stuart. If there's no enemy within, then it says this, Frank, the enemy without can do you no harm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Luther, you track it? You like that one? If there's no enemy within, then the enemy without, Jojo, can do you no harm. Are you with me, Brenda? Hey, number three, let's give you number three. Number three, and I think I'll close it out here and then open up for questions. Number three, your financial breakthrough or breakdown is almost guaranteed when you decide you will no longer be a slave to money or the system. Again, when you decide you will no longer be a slave to the money or the system. The whole system's rigged to make you and I slaves. The whole system is rigged to make you and I, slaves to money. See, here's what I teach people. I got what's called a breakthrough money school, but here's what I teach people. Money is what you work for. Money is not what I work for, but rather is a servant that works for me. Money, before I understood this, money was what I was working for. Once I understood this, I'm like, no, I no longer work for money. I'm working to make money work for me. Is that good? See, write this down. Money is a great servant, but a terrible master. Money is a great servant, but a terrible master. And so many people are serving money instead of finding systems and ways that they can get money to serve them. Is this good to anybody other than me? So we have to learn to get rid. See, do you know the whole school system was training you not to be an entrepreneur or a breakthroughpreneur or a kingdompreneur, but rather an employee? It's training you to be an employee. To have a financial breakthrough, you're going to have to break out of that mindset and that whole system. So again, money is a terrible, terrible master, but a great servant. Let me prove to you. Think about Facebook, church. You ever stood up and said, got a prayer request? Or on Facebook, pray with me. I'm going for a job interview. And what happens? Man, oh man, oh man. People like, I mean, I don't know how many really pray, but they say, I'll pray for you. And then you come back a couple of days later, week later, whatever. Hey, congratulations. I got my job. I mean, hey, thanks for praying for me. I got the job. And man, they'll be congratulating you. You know, if it's a prayer meeting, they'll be like, praise God. Yeah, yeah. Flip the script now. Go on Facebook. Say, pray with me. I'm praying about starting a new business. There's a new opportunity. I'm praying about taking advantage of what, and so I'm going to start this new business. I want to start a new income stream. Or in prayer meeting. Hey, I got a new opportunity open up to me, and I think it's going to be amazing. So just pray that God really blesses this as I start this new endeavor, as I start this new business. You know what? People are like, uh-oh, don't go chasing money now. Is anybody, come on, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Give me a number 5 in the chat. Give me number 5 if you know what I'm talking about. Like the same people that be pray with you about getting the job, congratulate you for getting the job. When you talk about starting a business, all of a sudden, oh man, okay, don't get money hungry now. Don't start chasing money. First of all, y'all got to understand something. I don't chase money. Money chases me. Because my scripture teaches me in Deuteronomy 28:2, all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee when thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God. So I don't chase money, I chase God. And when I chase God and chase practicing his principles, he causes the money to chase me. Hello, somebody. But oftentimes the money is released in the opportunity. So why is it okay for me to get another job? The guy can work 2 jobs. His wife works a job. Sometimes she works 2 jobs, right? But they ain't money hungry. They ain't chasing money. But the guy or the gal that's going to start a new business, all of a sudden, be careful. It's kind of like weight loss, right? You know, the guy, I was 307 pounds, right? And the guy said, man, you might need to lose some weight. Okay, you know, you're right, right? And, you know, no, 309, excuse me, 309. And, you know, and you know it, but you don't really want to hear it, right? But you're like, you know what? Yeah, it's time to do something, right? And so, okay, so then you start losing weight, and then the guy says to me, the same guy, you gotta be careful now, don't want to lose too much. Okay. All right, anyway. Okay, so I think, let me see here. Okay, let's give you one more. Let's see if I give you 3. Okay, well, in the chat, let me know. Is this enough and I need to stop just for Q&A real quick? Or I can't hear, so let me know. Just stop now and do a Q&A, or do you want number 4? Let me know, okay? Brenda says, keep going. Frank says Q&A. So I got 1 and 1. Okay, so that means 1 says, oh, Alan says continue. Okay, I give you another 30 seconds. Who else? Do quick Q&A or give you one more? So we got 1 for Q&A. Who else says Q&A? You know, Frank says, okay, I'll give it. Go for it. Nah, Frank, stand your ground. That's okay, man. Don't worry about them other folk. So Frank, don't worry. But what I'm going to do is, if I go a little overtime, I'm going to do Q&A anyway. So just remember your questions, everybody. But thank you. All right. Okay. Alice said, there you go. Still give. Okay. Continue. Okay. Here we go. Number 4. Number four, number four. By the way, isn't it amazing? I don't know about you. Like, I went through 12 years of regular school, 12 years of college, graduate, postgraduate, and it was even the professor for me, but 24 years of schooling. I didn't learn any of these principles in school. Like really, like you may have, but I didn't, right? I mean, anyway. All right, so here we go. So number four, quickly. Your financial breakthrough or breakdown is almost guaranteed. Guaranteed to break through if you implement the principle.
I just put it down there.
Guaranteed. Somebody's guaranteed to break through if you implement the principle. And again, guaranteed to break down if you ignore the principle. Okay. So, all right, again, we got some kind of problem here with this my system. So I need everybody to make sure you stay muted until I finish here. So, all right, here we go. So number four, here it is. When you commit to circulating instead of just spending or saving money. Okay. Jocelyn says she's got tons of notes. All right. Awesome. Number four, when you commit to circulating your money and act, well, anyway, once you become a kingdompreneur, you realize it's not even your money, it's God's money. You get to be a steward. But once you commit to circulating money instead of spending or saving your money. So here's what I mean. When I married my beautiful wife, my ABCD, my adorable brown caramel delight. Some people say to me, man, you always talking about the Bible. And some of you always talking about your wife. Well, it's because I'm happily married and I love my wife. That's because I'm not a religious person, but I got a great relationship with the Lord. And this book governs all my life, right? It's the thing that changed my life. I never had success in my life personally, real success, until I started implementing, practicing this. And so, it's what worked for me. So, and then the principles that you hear other people teach, don't talk about the Bible. I can show you that in the Bible. So don't just hang with it, brother. All right. So watch this. When I married her, she said, baby, we don't ever, by the way, she went out earlier today. I'm like, she walked in, I was like, baby, oh my goodness, you look so good. I was like, could I take a picture of you? She's like, baby. And she always says, well, I just want to represent both my kings well. So she calls me her king and of course the Lord. And I was like, man, let me take some pictures. I said, my sister, my man. I was like, good gracious. But anyway, so I said, if I didn't have a dime, I'd be a rich man being married to a woman like you. It's not just the outer beauty, but it's her inner essence. It's just, she just stirs her brother up. But anyway, but she said to me this. She said, baby, we don't ever want to spend money. Now any brother out there knowing, when you marry a beautiful woman and a classy woman, you know it's going to cost you for the rest of your life. And I'm like, but I gladly pay, gladly, right? But she says, no, baby, we don't want to spend any money. We only want to circulate money. I was like, wow. I said, that sounds great, but what exactly does that mean? And she said, baby, when you spend money, it's gone forever, never to return. She said, but when you circulate money, the money goes out and it comes back, a never-ending cycle of increase and enjoyment. I was like, wow. Say that again. She said, when you spend money, it's gone forever, never to return. But when you circulate money, she said, it goes out and it comes back, a never-ending cycle of increase and enjoyment. I said, from now on in the Harris household, we're going to look for ways that we can circulate the money that God allows us to be stewards of. Well, in other words, places where we can send money out so it can come back in a never-ending cycle of increase and enjoyment. Now listen, the commercials have you and I programmed that before the money even comes in, we're going to buy this and we're going to buy that, which means we're spending, which means money's going out. And remember, when your outgo is more than your income, Beverly, that's your downfall, Gladys. Are you with me? So iPhone user, we got to understand, again, when your outgo is more than your income, that's your downfall. So watch this, my friend. So you got to learn, get this now. And again, even the saving is a misnomer. Because when you're saving money, you're giving your money to the banks. They're loaning that money out to other people for 20, 22, 24% interest. In some cases, loan your own money back to you with interest. And they're throwing you a few pennies of interest. And what you think you made in interest, you lost in something called inflation. Because the rate of inflation is more than triple what your little, in sometimes 5 times what your little interest is. So what you think you're saving money, you're actually losing money. So there's some countries where you got to actually pay to put money in the bank. And here in America, we think that's crazy, but that's exactly what we do here. And the banks is one of the biggest, talking about scam, one of the biggest ripoff. Last year, over $30 billion they charged in overdraft fees, meaning they charged $30 billion to folks that didn't have money. And how many of y'all know that a lot of times before they'll try to do the withdrawal before you put a deposit in, and they'll make sure they do the withdrawal real quick before the deposit hits. How many of y'all, does anybody know? Okay, y'all don't want to be that honest with me. Okay, let me leave that alone. All right, anyway, but you got to learn the principle, and that's why you got to understand the power of systems that help you to circulate, my friend. And you got to learn to prioritize to profit. Watch this now. Matthew 6:33, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then all these things shall be added. So as I go after God and seek his wisdom, he gives me the wisdom to find these systems and these situations where I can circulate money, where I can use a system where my money goes out, but it comes back, a never-ending cycle. And by the way, you got to learn to buy what we call appreciating assets that create money that you can then use to buy the stuff. Ooh. Appreciating assets that you can purchase. And an asset is something that makes money, okay? An asset is something that makes you money. And man, I just thought about that chart I usually show here. I don't know if I have it here. Anyway, but circulate. So we're so used to buying things that depreciate, right? Let's see here. I think I found it here. There you go. Okay. All righty. Not sure what I just did. Let's knock it out again. Okay. So at the top, you see where people are taking money and buying stuff. And that's all I used to do, buy money. Because the commercials had me programmed. Man, for the money, man, when I get paid Friday, I'm buying this, I'm getting this. So consumer mindset is buy, spend, and purchase. Buy, spend, purchase. That's all they do. But the entrepreneur, the kingdompreneur, the breakthroughpreneur mindset is about investing, circulating, and creating. So we take our money to buy assets. Those assets make us money. We take that money to buy more assets. And with the money from the assets, we buy the stuff. So even the stuff, we still got the assets left over. So it's all about what vehicle can I use where my money can have babies. See, broke folks, oh my goodness. Get a snapshot of that because I'm about to pull it down here real quick. Because I got to hurry. Okay, hope you got it. If not, too bad, so sad. So poor people make money slowly, but spend it quickly. Write this down. Poor and broke people, they make money slowly, but spend it quickly. People of abundance learn to make money quickly, but spend it slowly. As a matter of fact, make it quickly and invest, prioritize by getting assets so the assets can make money, but they make it quickly and spend it slowly. So what I found out was most of my life, I was making turtle money, right? When I learned to start making rabbit money, find circulate ways to circulate where turns my money into rabbit money. You say, what's rabbit money? See, turtle money moves slow. Rabbit money reproducing, money making money having babies. Come on, somebody. And so the whole circulating, that thing is powerful. That thing will change your life. That thing, my friend, is one of the reasons why I love what we're doing here. Because again, Brother Suggs, it's giving you a way of circulating. Okay, so who's got a question? I can go on from my phone. Let me see if it'll let me hear on the phone here. Um, let's stop now. Open up for Q&A. What questions do you have? And then we'll continue next week. Okay.